Hey everybody. I'm kind of in the shadows here a little bit. Bright morning sunshine. I mean, like, bright. I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's not a cloud in the sky. Hey, I wanted to get to you and tell you about sin. Are you kind of sick of hearing about sin yet? Um, I spent a lot of time on this, and it's been on purpose. The whole reason I started doing this was because I got a question about truth. How can Christians know they have the market on truth? What is sin? Because how can I sin if it doesn't violate my truth? And so I spent a lot of time on this. And today I'm kind of, I don't want to say finishing up, but I'm kind of tying things together today. Because if you've been following, remember, God set the standard for truth. There is a standard, and it's found in God. And what violates that standard, what goes against that standard, what breaks that standard, what breaks that truth is sin. And out of that, we get the Ten Commandments, not because they made things wrong, but things were wrong, and the Ten Commandments just wrote them down. It violated the truth. So what I was thinking of is this is something that I had struggled with and questioned for years. I never really understood it. Because what I always thought was sin, wrong, going against God. That is what sin was. That's what broke that relationship with God. God says, don't lie. You lie. Well, I sin. God says, don't lust. God says, don't envy what other people have. God says, honor. And I thought when you broke these rules, that's what sin was. But there's such a thing as what's called the sin nature. And I never really understood that. And what I've come to find out and realize, I don't know, a little bit through studying, and I say a little bit on purpose, mostly through, I don't know, living, I guess, is the best way to put it. The sinning, the breaking the rules part is not what makes us a sinner. We break the rules because of what we are. What's on the inside comes out in the outside from our nature. And let me tell you what I mean. You always think of babies, newborns, perfect, innocent, a blank slate, ready to learn. And as they grow up and become toddlers, the question was once asked, do we need to teach a baby to lie? Or do they know how to lie? Did you eat the cookie? No. Do we need to teach them to do that? Or is that something that's just part of their nature? Do we need to teach a baby to be selfish? Or is it like mine? Is it just part of their nature? Do we need to teach a baby to steal? You see where I'm getting at? It's not that the act makes it wrong. It's because that's their nature. And I say that that's our nature, which God calls the sin nature. We sin because it comes out from what's on the inside. And I struggled a long time with this. Because that selfishness, that I don't know, pride, that I'm in control of my own universe, I'm a man of my own destiny. Maybe that's what that nature is. We don't need God telling us what to do. We don't need to follow God. I can do it on my own. Or I'll establish my own truth. So that's what this sin thing is. God set the standard. We break that standard. And that's where the sin comes from. But we can't help but break it, because it's who we are. So don't let me discourage you. This is a very discouraging talk, but I gotta get this firm. You gotta realize there's truth, and you gotta understand what that truth is and where it comes from. It's God. He set the standard. And sin is when we go against that standard. But most importantly, it's not the act, it's the nature. And it comes out in the acts. So, this is discouraging, isn't it? What can we do? You know, there's a phrase in the Bible, you're free in Christ. Christ sets you free. And next week, I'm going to talk about that. What is this freedom? When it looks like it means we just have to follow rules. Remember what I said this week in the last week about sin. Sin nature. And next week, we're going to talk a little about freedom. Freedom from sin. I hope you're enjoying this. It takes a lot of study on my part. It's like something you know and live, but it's kind of hard to put into words. So anyway, glad you're here, guys. All right, remember, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, at FL Compass Church. Make sure you follow us, tell your friends. Online, www.flcompasschurch.org. And in the meantime, enjoy this beautiful late spring weekend, and we'll see you Wednesday.